Today on University Report, music lovers celebrate National Record Store Day. Sitting here in the Golden Glove statue in Target Field, they just put up a statue of a player who won 3 of these. Stay tuned to find out who it is. We'll give you a glimpse into the newly elected undergraduate student government president and what her next steps are. Also, we'll take a look at the brave talent that performed at Open Mic Night. Worried about your retirement funds? We've got some advice.
Since the tariffs have popped up, I haven't had the guts to look at my retirement account.
Finally, we'll tell you what kind of spring you should expect this weekend with our comprehensive 5-day forecast. Stick around to learn about these stories and more today on University Report.
Good morning and welcome to University Report. I'm Bianca Caputo.
And I'm Katrina Bailey. Thank you for joining us.
This past month, on and off tariffs have confused Americans and cost them money as investments lost ground, leaving people like me wondering when it's the right time to panic. I went to experts and people working in downtown Minneapolis to find out more about what's going on and how you can prepare.
On April 2nd, President Donald Trump applied the tariffs he had been foreshadowing through his campaign. While Trump and fellow Republicans say that these policies have the potential to bring manufacturing jobs back to America, sharp stock market downturns in this now infamous graph caused mass panic. So it's a little bit chilly this afternoon outside the IDS Center, but I'm here to talk to people a little bit more about what the tariffs mean for the retirement funds, anything they might have invested in the stock markets, and their long-term earnings.
Since the tariffs have popped up, I haven't had the guts to look at my retirement account. This is stupidest thing. It doesn't, almost every economist agrees that it's not going to do any good for the company.
Bulge is what he describes as semi-retired, working very little as a professional courier for money while benefiting from his retirement. Bulge is also what financial advisor Emmanuel Bonilla Galvez has described as the most vulnerable group for these changes. In a phone conversation, Bonilla Galvez said that putting tariffs on and off has created economic uncertainty and contributed to stock market concerns.
Once we start seeing this downturn and people are looking at their accounts and the values going down, then yes, we've gotten some of the most calls that we've gotten since COVID.
Economic professor Fahima Aziz said that these changes will impact those with less the most, and that the time to skip out on that $7 coffee is now. Bank of America senior trust advisor Tom Baxter has used his insider knowledge to inform decisions about his investments.
I took about 40% out of the market and put it in cash. All the rest of the things that I left in the market went down.
Regardless of age, advisor Bonilla Galvez recommended that investors not pull out their funds, but if possible, decrease risk on their portfolios.
It's been a bloodbath.
Trump recently ordered a 90-day delay on implementation of his tariffs to allow time for negotiations with other countries. That triggered a rebound in the market, though it hasn't regained all the ground it's lost. For more information on expert insight on the market, you can go to z.umn.edu/University Report.
The American Ballet Theater is coming to the U of M tonight and tomorrow with performances of the romantic ballet Giselle. The show tells the story of a maiden, Giselle, falling in love with a handsome villager and how he ultimately betrays her. The acclaimed production is described as perfectly fusing live music, movement, and drama. Performances are tonight at 7:30 p.m. and tomorrow at 2 p.m. Plus, you can also celebrate with the dancers themselves at a cocktail party after the Saturday show. Last-minute tickets range from $30 to $90 and can be purchased on the U of M Northrop website.
See which funk icon came out to celebrate Record Store Day with music lovers. Hopefully, I'll get some new record recommendations. Plus, Eitan Schoenberg reports on the U's new student government leadership and how graduating students can dress to impress for job interviews. That's after the break.
Because it was there. Because determination overcame distance.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
because the unsolvable was invitation enough. Why are we driven to discover? Because we can change the course of history. Because tomorrow's visionaries need focus today. At the University of Minnesota, with each student comes an opportunity to set their sights higher and to show them the way, so our graduates can shape the future and fulfill the dreams they haven't yet dreamt. Because renewable energy can sustain us all. Our students envision the sun powering homes on every block, wind-blown ideas launching entirely new economies, and fertile soils fueling cars and people alike, protecting the harmony between humanity and nature. Because self-expression can move 1,000 souls. Be it a song or a dance, a canvas or a poem, the arts are vital to the U of M experience, as are self-discovery and moments of sheer amazement. Because cancer can be conquered by targeting medicines, customizing treatments, and transplanting stem cells, incurable cancers can become survivable. Terminal can be redefined as treatable, and optimism can spread once again. Because human rights need champions. From classrooms in Minnesota to courtrooms in Uganda, assembling a collective voice for change allows dignity to return and extends human rights across the globe. Because clean water ensures quality of life. It's essential to the health of all nations, so we're studying models and molecules. We are committed to making clean water flow freely, from the headwaters of the Mississippi to the slums of Mumbai. We share the belief that anything is possible, because at the University of Minnesota, discoveries unfold, breakthroughs happen, and history is forever changed.
For some music lovers, including me, streaming and downloading just doesn't do. There's something special about owning a physical recording of music. That's why local record stores were packed last Saturday for Record Store Day. In Minneapolis, MK Fenstermaker was at the Electric Fetus when it got a surprise visit from a funk legend.
The Electric Fetus has stood for nearly half a century, and it's thriving now more than ever as a new wave of young shoppers fall in love with vinyls, CDs, and cassettes that their parents left behind.
I have cassette players. I buy cassettes, and you can get like a bunch of cassettes for really cheap. They can last a lot longer, and they're just cool. I like them.
Since 2008, Record Store Day has evolved into what was once a shop-saving initiative into a huge celebration that unites listeners across genres.
I got some Fiona Apple, which is so good. It was worth the whole $10.
I'm a really big fan of like 2000s like metalcore.
I'm here looking for some Johnny Cash, which I found.
Prince came here on Record Store Day in 2016, just days before his death. This year, the store hosted funk icon Bootsy Collins, sporting his usual star-shaped glasses, top hat, and his purple attire, which was a tribute to Prince.
We recorded together back in '95 on Lucky Peterson's CD. We just go way back. I heard he was coming, and I wanted to come down and see him again.
I've been playing you for him as long as he can remember. You guys want to get closer for a photo?
Like Bootsy's music, the shop has united generations of fans.
I started coming to the Electric Fetus when I was 14 years old. I am now 70. So if you're looking for something that you can't find anywhere, come to Electric Fetus.
Bootsy's parting advice captures why these places continue to endure.
Don't get discouraged when somebody rejects what you're doing. Know that if that's what you like and that's what you feel, then you pursue that, no matter what anybody says.
Whether Bootsy's back or perhaps someone else, we know that this Record Store Day certainly won't be the last for the Electric Fetus. Mary-Kate Fenstermaker, University Report.
The Electric Fetus will be celebrating its anniversary with special events in June. It will mark 5 decades of helping listeners discover what they didn't know they were looking for.
I've always wanted to go to Electric Fetus before, so maybe I'll go next time. University students recently elected a student president and vice president. Eitan Schoenberg joins us now on campus. Hey Eitan, how's it going?
It's going well, Katrina. It's a little chilly outside, but there's still a bunch of student tours going on behind me, actually. So I'm outside the Kaufman Union right now, where the student government is located behind me on the 2nd floor. So the U of M recently held its student elections to elect a new vice president and president of the undergraduate student government. So the election was a little close, but the voter turnout took a dip compared to last year. I spoke with students and the new elects to learn more.
Riley Hetland and Ethan Fiegel won the election. But when you look at the results, you'll notice only a small portion of the student body voted. This year's election saw an over 50% decrease in voter turnout compared to last year.
I think what we've been kind of talking about the entire election process is it wasn't really the effort of getting students to vote for us, rather just to get students to vote in general.
Did you vote in the undergraduate student government election?
I did not. No, I didn't.
I did not.
I didn't. I didn't. I don't even know what it is.
Not only did they not vote, but all of the students I talked to said they didn't know what the student government leaders do. So, what exactly do they do? Well, it's hard to define in one sentence, but one of their main objectives is to represent and advocate for university students.
I think the best way to describe the president and vice president's role is almost to be working in the background. Like, yes, we're the face in like the interviews, the Minnesota Daily Stories, but mostly we're the ones that are guiding the work.
The two oversee the student government and its various committees.
And we definitely take that as our biggest priority, is making us accessible to students and allowing them a direct pipeline to talk to us about issues they're facing, especially right now with tuition increases, the lack of an on-campus grocery store.
Along with fighting rising tuition and food insecurity, Hetland and Fiegel will focus on campus safety and environmental policy.
It's always hard to work with the university and actually motivate them to make changes. But if we stay silent, they're not going to make those changes.
Hetland's major is based on the university's St. Paul campus, which is uncommon for student presidents. She wants the student government to provide better representation for St. Paul students during her term. Hetland also wants students to voice other concerns to her once she's in office.
We're leaving room for sub-goals to be worked on based off of what we learned from these student interactions. So we're able to work with, if it's not already in a designated committee or team project, then we're able to work with that feedback and try to help the student in any way we can.
So Hetland and Fiegel's term is not supposed to start until July 1st. In the meantime, they'll continue their current roles, where Hetland is the Director of Civic Engagement and Fiegel is the Vice Chair of Campus Safety on the undergraduate student government. Back to you, Katrina.
Thanks, Eitan. That was really good information.
Are you looking for more business casual attire for job interviews? Or maybe you have some nice clothes you just don't need anymore? Then don't be fashionably late to the professional clothing swap next week. CLA Career Services is hosting the free event where you can donate old clothes, take home new ones, or both. You can still grab new clothes even if you don't donate. The swap is happening April 21st through 23rd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in 411 Brunings Hall. They are taking new donations now through the end of the swap, and they ask that any clothes you donate be gently used and washed with no holes or stains. I could always use more clothes for my on-air wardrobe, so stay tuned for those new outfits.
It's been an exciting week for Minnesota sports. The Minnesota Wild move on to the playoffs, and a new statue of a Twins legend at Target Field uplifts Twins fans during this tough season. Plus, Jacob Ackerman gives us a look at this weekend's weather after the break.
We're all about water in Minnesota. I've been here approaching 50 years. Originally, the biggest problem we had is the algae bloom from the sewage in the lake. And now we got the zebra mussels, and that's been a major negative.
Zebra mussels are an aquatic invasive species. They impact the food webs within lakes, which impact fish populations, growth, occurrence, and especially in Minnesota where so much of our recreation is lake-based, that impacts those local businesses, different tourism around the state. Zebra mussels were first found in the Great Lakes back in 1986, and since then they have spread throughout much of Minnesota. People love clear water, but that's not necessarily good. That means that conditions are different for the plants, for the fish, for everything in the lake. This project out on Lake Minnetonka is looking at a copper-based product called EarthTech QZ. We are hoping that this will give us ideally some solutions for controlling zebra mussel populations. This project is largely a partnership between the University of Minnesota, specifically MASERC, the Minnesota Aquatic Invasive Species Research Center, and the U.S. Geological Survey.
It is very much a team effort. Even the marina owner that has graciously allowed us to use their area for staging our equipment and supplies. So without the cooperation of all those different partners, it would be impossible to do a study of this nature.
There are a lot of infrastructure and businesses existing relying on the lake. It's not only the marinas, it's everybody around Lake Minnetonka will suffer subsequently.
Well, the zebra mussels over on the east end of the lake make it clear. It looks like an aquarium over there. So during the daytime, it's kind of tough to fish.
Zebra mussels affect our boats by getting in the motors. They affect the beaches. They get on the rocks. People step on them, cut their feet. So it just makes it less desirable to use the lake. And as a business that's in a lake community, that affects us.
This project is specific to Lake Minnetonka, but we're hoping that this type of treatment will be able to be repeated on different lakes. The University of Minnesota's Aquatic Invasive Species Research Center is one of a kind. It's the only one like it in the country. And the work that we're doing is protecting Minnesota's lakes.
The University of Minnesota is absolutely essential in this matter. And it's a profoundly positive experience for us to be part of it.
The Minnesota Wild officially secured their spot in the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. The Wild beat the Anaheim Ducks 3-2 Tuesday night in overtime. Players Marcus Johansson and Joel Eriksson-Ek each scored the first 2 goals, with Matt Boldy scoring the game-winning goal in overtime. The Wild has made the playoffs 13 times in franchise history, but the team has never won the championship. Maybe this season will be different.
All we can be is optimistic for the Wild. Now on another sports front, Minnesota grown and Twins Hall of Famer Joe Mauer is now honored as a statue at Target Field. I went to the unveiling. The plaza was filled with Twins fans, celebrities, and even Detroit Tiger fans.
On Target Field Plaza, hundreds of fans gathered to watch the unveiling of a new statue, some from close range, some from far. Onlookers, including statue of Harmon Killebrew and Kirby Puckett, watched as the statue of Minnesota-grown former Twins player Joe Mauer was unveiled by his family.
What do you guys think? Does that look like Dad? Yeah, it looks like your dad. Do you like the sideburns? The sideburns should come back, right? That look never goes out of style. Should your dad rock the sideburns again? He doesn't know.
Mauer made his Major League Baseball debut in 2004 after being drafted first overall by the Twins. He played his entire 15-season career with Minnesota. He played catcher, currently being the only catcher in MLB history to win 3 batting titles and the only one in the American League to win a batting title. With the 2009 MVP award, 3 Golden Gloves, 5 Silver Sluggers, and the title of 3-time All-Star tucked under his catcher gear, Mauer was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame his first year of eligibility.
It was one thing I remember my mom, my dad, and my grandpa told me when I was in high school. I was always a shortstop growing up. And they told me, they said, the quickest way to the big leagues is playing catcher. So what did I do? I went and got some catcher's gear. So it was one thing that I took a lot of pride in, worked really hard at, and one of my favorite things to do on a baseball field was to throw runners out. And I'm looking at this right now. It looks like I'm going to throw somebody out.
Maurer joined the Twins Hall of Fame in 2023. His former teammate Justin Morneau said Maurer inspired kids all over the state to keep playing baseball, even in the off-season. The bronze statue is based on 2009 Maurer and is 125% life-size, meaning the statue is 8 feet tall. Twins fan Christopher Thompson said he followed Maurer throughout his career.
I was there to a lot of Twins games at the Metrodome and also here at Target Field. And I got to see when he clinched his first batting title as a catcher. That was pretty awesome moment to see. But a lot of history here. So Joe's been a big part of my life. Obviously, the sideburns have also stayed.
Before the Twins drafted him, Maurer was a Division I football prospect as quarterback. He almost played for Florida State University. I asked him if he ever thought about playing football after he was drafted, and he told me, at first, yes, but knew in his heart he made the right decision. The next Twins game, home game, is against the Chicago White Sox this coming Tuesday at 6:40 p.m. on my favorite day, Dollar Dog Day.
This past week, our weather has been having a tough time deciding whether it's spring or not, and my jean hems are feeling the moisture. High temperatures have been generally between the upper 40s and mid-50s, but with strong winds and some cloudy days. Jacob Kappenman joins us for the 5-day forecast. Jacob, what's next for spring?
Thanks, Bianca. It's looking a little warmer, with weather mostly between the 50s and 60s. Today we had a little rain in the morning, but it looks like we won't have any more rain for the rest of the day. But it will be partly cloudy. Tomorrow will be sunny with a high of 57, and Sunday it should be just partly cloudy, but there might be a chance of rain later in the day. And then on Monday, there should be showers in the morning, but it should be sunny after that, with a high of 62. And then on Tuesday, it could rain all day, and it could be really cloudy, but a high of 68. But we'll have to see. And with spring in full swing, we should be done with snow. Back to you, Bianca.
Thanks, Jacob. Now all we have to worry about is this rain. There's a new editor-in-chief for the Minnesota Daily. Plus, we'll sample some fun performances from Tuesday's open mic night at the Whole Music Club when we come back.
Because it was there. Because determination overcame distance.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Because the unsolvable was invitation enough. Why are we driven to discover? Because we can change the course of history. Because tomorrow's visionaries need focus today. At the University of Minnesota, with each student comes an opportunity to set their sights higher and to show them the way, so our graduates can shape the future and fulfill the dreams they haven't yet dreamt. Because renewable energy can sustain us all. Our students envision the sun powering homes on every block, wind-blown ideas launching entirely new economies, and fertile soils fueling cars and people alike, protecting the harmony between humanity and nature. Because self-expression can move 1,000 souls. Be it a song or a dance, a canvas or a poem, the arts are vital to the U of M experience, as are self-discovery and moments of sheer amazement. Because cancer can be conquered by targeting medicines, customizing treatments, and transplanting stem cells, incurable cancers can become survivable. Terminal can be redefined as treatable, and optimism can spread once again. Because human rights need champions. From classrooms in Minnesota to courtrooms in Uganda, assembling a collective voice for change allows dignity to return and extends human rights across the globe. Because clean water ensures quality of life. It's essential to the health of all nations, so we're studying models and molecules We are committed to making clean water flow freely, from the headwaters of the Mississippi to the slums of Mumbai. We share the belief that anything is possible, because at the University of Minnesota, discoveries unfold, breakthroughs happen, and history is forever changed.
The University of Minnesota's student newspaper, the Minnesota Daily, selected its new editor-in-chief last Thursday. The board selected my co-worker, Alexis Latang, the current arts and entertainment desk editor, who started at the Daily as an intern in 2023. Latang is replacing Spencer White, the current editor-in-chief, who is graduating this May. Latang told the Daily she wanted this promotion since she started working there. The board of the Daily says they're excited to see what she accomplishes.
The Whole Music Club held an open mic Tuesday night. The event gave students the opportunity to express themselves and perform in front of their peers. Reporter Jacob Kabinman was there to capture the performances.
The University of Minnesota has a diverse group of talented students. Open Mic Night gives these students a chance to show off their talent. The night had a wide variety of performances.
I was on stage with a couple of guys and they already know that they scrubs. I know that I'm better and therefore that gotta mean that I am taking some dubs.
With a wide level of experience. For some like Liv Jackson and Zach Rubinik, performances like these are nothing new.
I've been doing this since this time last year. It's my second year at the U, and I've just enjoyed the chill environment.
We're doing duets for our spring showcase, so I just wanted to come out here and practice with my duet partner before our actual showcase.
I would say it's a hobby. I mean, I am definitely passionate about music and performance, but I'm too scared to pursue it. So I'm majoring in econ.
I think we did pretty well. I've been performing in front of people for quite a long time, so I've just gotten quite used to it.
But for others, like Lennon Austin and Tony, this was a new experience.
I love playing music, and I never took a risk like this before, so I just decided to play on stage, see how it went.
Well, I just saw an opportunity to perform my music and to express my creativity in front of my peers.
It feels good. I was very nervous, and I get nervous easily, so I feel relaxed now, so I thought it was great.
I felt amazing because like everyone in the crowd was like engaging with my music. I saw them bopping their heads like every song.
Yeah, thank you. You know, I always wanted to, and I think finally taking that jump, it feels really good. I feel like I accomplished a goal for myself.
This was the last jump of the school year at the Whole Music Club, wrapping up a series of open mic nights for musicians. Jacob Kappenman, University Report.
The Whole Music Club will host a stand-up comedy open mic night next month, so we can all get in some extra giggles after finals. Any UMN student is welcome to perform. For more information on how to sign up, go to our website at z.umn.edu/universityreport. Gotta get me out there on that stage.
I already have a joke. Do you want to hear my joke?
Sure, go for it.
What is brown and sticky? A stick.
Ha 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 ha. All right.
And that wraps things up this morning on University Report. I'm Katrina Bailey.
And I'm Bianca Caputo. Have a great rest of your Friday.